into the brand update. But before we do that, let's go ahead and dive into, it's just like, let's go ahead and dive into how we got here. Just the fact that we're able to be in a space where it's just been a long time coming. Well, I don't want to say like a long time coming, but it's just been a really cool space to exist in and be a part of, not just for the journey of like content creation and kind of being in that space, but also just for the time of just like I don't know, just I don't know. It's just been a real privilege to be able to be in this space with y'all. So with everything we are going to debut today in terms of the brand update, in terms of just like I'm gonna talk a little bit about the vision for the future. We're not gonna get into too much because again, as I want to leave a little bit to leave it for mystery's sake. Is that how they say it? But being in a space where where we can tell the story, right? And I understand that we're not always going to tell the story in one setting, and so I really want to have the opportunity to debut today, get it out there. I wasn't able to create every single asset that I wanted in terms of like branding and have it ready for today, but I got the structure here today, and so I really am hopeful that you all are able to see a bit of my vision for what I want to take the content and the channel going forward, and take it with you all as you all not only inspire me, but also encourage me to keep going through the good times and the bad. And speaking of which, gotta shout out the homies, the people on this list. I'm not gonna sit here and list off names because like I don't want anyone to feel left out, but like if you see these people on this list, take a second, pause, come back to it, screenshot it, whatever you need to do. These are some amazing content creators that have been in their communities for varied amount of times, right? Some shorter, some for very long time since I've been creating content, and each one of these people has been such an inspiration to me that anytime that I'm watching their content or that I'm in their streams, not only are they doing an amazing job of taking care of their communities, but they're also just putting out just some amazing content that, like, for me, is definitely worthy of recognition. And so, whether I know these people like deeply, like intimately, or whether we're just kind of like internet homies, I absolutely have to shout these people out because for me, one thing about me, I'm gonna give credit where it's due. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. You're not gonna find me out here, stealing content or stealing ideas or whatever. That's just not the vibe. That's just not how we roll. And being in a space where like I want to shout out these people, please go support these people, follow them. They do amazing content. They have great communities. And when we're thinking about the rebrand today, when we're thinking about all the things that we're gonna talk about today and in the future, these are people. And again, I can't list everybody because my brain be everywhere, but also like it would just be an endless list of everyone who's inspired me. And so again, just really shout out these people as deep inspirations to me, people who I believe are just genuinely dope human beings, people I think we should support and follow. Again, as we say all the time, there's no harm in shedding shine and light on other people, and these people are a big part of why I continue to be inspired to create content, to be inspired to build community, be inspired to do the things that we do on this channel, and that hopefully we can do for a good long time. but yeah, definitely support these people. And again, I want to give credit because whether it was an aspect of the design that you're going to see today, or whether it is just simply some of the revamps that you'll see forthcoming in the Discord revamp is on the way. It's not ready today, but it is going to be ready soon. Whether it's the Discord revamp, whether it's some of the branding revamp, some of the ways that we think about like how we welcome people into the chat, you know, when we're on like Twitch or whether we're here on YouTube. For me, all the different things I learn, I'm humbled. I'm absolutely just I'm humbled. I'm humbled to even have been interacting with these people who are not even on this list. Again, you always get in trouble with naming people, but if you're not on the list and you know, like we've been vibing, charging to my head, not my heart. But you know, really just want to shout anyone and everyone out who's been a part of this journey and who will be a part of this journey later down the road, and really excited for what we gotta show y'all today. So I would be remiss, I would be absolutely remiss if I just sat here and didn't acknowledge these people who inspired the design, inspired me to like rethink how I'm branding myself, to rethink how I'm like thinking about community. And even when I think I'm doing a good job, the fact that like these are people in direct and indirect ways who I engage with, and we can have some real conversations about like, hey, you know, like this is like a different way you can think about the situation. This is a different way you can think about the content. This is a different way that like if you're serious, and again, I am serious about this. If you're serious about building community, if you're serious about doing this, here's ways that, you know, like here's what I found successful. Here's ways that you can improve. Here's a link to a training or a really cool tutorial. And so the fact that these are people who would take their time, their hard-earned time away from their content and their communities to even engage in that way, or, you know, whether we're in stream and just chopping it up and having a really good conversation, the fact that they even give that time is deeply appreciative, and I'm deeply appreciative of that. And yes, we're going to sit here and we're going to shout these people out, and we're going to have a long intro because these people deserve it. And I'm really glad that, you know, I can be internet homies or IRL homies with these people, and continue to build out content, and hopefully, you know, build out content for the long term, because I love creating this. I love creating this stuff. I love creating anything. It brings me joy, and creating with other people, building community around what we create, you know, something I want to do hopefully for a long time. So again, shout these people out, screenshot, pause, record, whatever you need to do. Find these people, follow them, support them. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. So all right, so let's go ahead and do this. I don't want, again, as I said before, I'm gonna have like a part of it that's like well, it's going to be kind of a storytelling aspect of how we roll out the updated branding. But what I did want to do is start to walk through some of the assets that you all will see with the updated branding and the work that we're going to be doing on the channel going forward, at least for this next bit. Again, I believe in like growing and failing, and maybe this doesn't work and we need to reinvent again in 2 weeks. I don't know, but I think we're on to something potentially with this new rebrand. And so with that, I'm actually going to do a quick promo video that I put together, and it will also, it should be live today as of right now, if the scheduling feature worked, but it should be live as of right now, also as our YouTube channel trailer. And so what you all are about to see is our newest promo for content going forward. So let's get into it.
Have you ever felt the need for cozy and chaotic content? Well, here we go.
Y'all already know. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you. Skeeter is what I want. Skeeter is what I need. Imagine being an NPC. Couldn't be me.
Get away!
You talking about you and dangerous things? Yeah, I'm trying to be dangerous with you. Why are you stealing tangles? Who are you to be stealing another person's tangle?
Not gonna no booching dog, and then I know dooching, and don't you be booching dog.
Your time is the most precious thing you can give to anyone, and so any amount of time you give here is appreciated, and we thank you for that. We're gonna get out of here, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of where? Here. We're gonna get out of here. All right. So you see right there, that is a 60-second preview. There's going to be a longer cut that comes out eventually. But again, you can already start to see that, again, one big thing that came up in a conversation when I was on stream, specifically with Grant Sounds, but then also in conversation on stream with Curly Head Shinobi. Again, people on this list that you see right now that you definitely should be supporting. But something that came up was like thinking about like what's the what, not beyond just like the visual treatment that you would have for your design, but also what's the kind of like visual story that you're telling. Again, I can do voiceovers, we can like do all the different things. Y'all know me, I'm also trying to get into voice acting, you know what I'm saying, eventually let me get a little better mic or whatever, send me some applications or whatever, we gonna be out here. Yeah, just being in a space that like, even with that little promo there, also like you can kind of see that like I'm bringing in the retro. Again, for folks who come to stream, y'all know I make a lot of random references that a lot of people just don't end up getting, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I'm not gonna stop saying references from like random stuff I saw from like the 1960s, right? I don't know, if my brain finds it interesting, I'm gonna talk about it. But what I wanted to be able to do is kind of really mix in, like, again, we've had this like pandas, because I love pandas. We've all had this cloud theme since the beginning of the channel, right? It's always been in there to some extent, maybe not as prominent, but it's always been there to some extent. And so being in a space where it's like, we don't lose the core of those things of like what, we've had a part of our different designs up to this point, but also we're adding in this kind of component of the storytelling where it's just like you're seeing kind of the retro mixed with like the futuristic. And even in that little promo, it kind of starts off with like the old TV and it's real staticky and it's kind of retro. And then we kind of follow that journey of like the clips that I put in there. Again, it's kind of hard to like narrow down. I'm still getting used. This is my first ever channel trailer I've ever made, truthfully. So shout out to me. I'm gonna applaud myself. But it was an interesting experiment trying to do that. One, because it's always like a struggle, like listening to your voice sometimes back. But then also like what is entertaining to me in terms of a clip. Also, again, we're not even affiliate yet on Twitch, so we don't even have the clip feature on Twitch yet. So this is all stuff like I had to like dig through my live streams to find, right? And so yeah, it's a space of like what I find funny or entertaining may not other people may not find funny or entertaining. This is like what's that balance of like putting together something that I enjoy, but then also putting together things that other people will enjoy too. And so it's a growing process. I don't think I have the formula. I don't think anyone truly has the formula, but I think part of getting to that formula or getting to an answer to that question is growing with the community. And so we'll continue to update, and get better with that. But also, again, I think the kind of overall visual story of retro combined with futuristic is the direction I definitely want to go, knowing that like I wasn't born in the 50s or 60s, but I don't know, I just find, other than, obviously, racism and sexism and all the bad things, outside of those things, some of like the visual designs that were going on at that time, the way that theater was occurring, some of those things, definitely not the bad things, but yeah, some of the kind of graphic details and things like that interest me, right? But then also things like Afrofuturism, or just general like modernist design and things like that really interest me as well. So I want to continue to figure out what is that sweet spot for our content, but then also where we can push the boundaries a little bit as we tell the story, because again, it's a story that I'm telling, but it's a story that I'm telling because of you all, this community, and I also want you all's voices to be present as we tell that story. So I think I got all of my talking points out. So this is the updated as we get into it, this is going to be the updated starting soon screen. There we go. Look at my panda. Look at my panda. We got the new screen going. And so again, as far as like what I wanted to talk about today is like the rebrand is including this like refresh on I looked into like color theory. I looked into like a lot of like what presents to most people as like feminine or masculine. And for me, it's just like, not that I didn't like my previous design and some of the assets that we had to build out our overlays and things like that, but also being in a spot where, you know, when we're looking at this, you know, again, looking at this starting soon screen in comparison to this, right? You know, I like this because it has that, again, what we were talking about earlier, it has that futuristic feel to it. But again, it's just like, it's deeper colors, it's a little bit more masculine. And for me, just being like a non-binary person, being someone who honestly, if you actually know me in person, I actually do present a little bit more femme, you know, like just for me, it's a little bit more soft and gentle. And I really was interested in, you know, with the rebrand refresh, like leaning into that more, just because like I like to be able to have all sides of myself represented, on top of the fact that this has very much like anime feels, right? And so yeah, just being a space where it's like, you know, it's a little bit more cartoony, it's a little bit more anime feel. You got the like boba drink over there, and again, you kind of see that we still have some of the treatments. Again, we still have the audio visualizer on the left. So again, there's things that, again, you're gonna kind of see this theme, this kind of recurring theme, right? That like there's things with our old design theory that we went through it that are still going to come through, that we're not completely losing it, but we are trying out different ways of engaging with content. So with the starting soon screen, you see it again, we have some of the old kind of assets in there, just a little bit revamped. Colors have been adjusted, fonts have been adjusted. Again, that was the other thing. I had like 10 or 11 or like 12 different fonts, and maybe you didn't like notice that, but now we have like 2 primary fonts, like one that's like a basic header font that we're going to use for all of the main header stuff that looks like the timer in the bottom right hand corner. It's going to be that font, and then we have more of like the sub header type font that is going to be more of the stylistic things that we're doing throughout the stream. And so yeah, just also bringing note to that's also something that we simplified. And yeah, I apologize if that visually bothered anybody, that we had like 50,000 different 50,000 different fonts. But going on to our chatting screen, folks remember our anime island background. It's an animated background, very much similar in the sense of, you know, again, wanting to keep some of those older assets. Again, we still have the bar visualizer with the logo, the brand, the pronouns, the pandas, the clouds. Again, y'all see that we're you know, the pandas, the clouds, you know, we're keeping it in there. We keeping it in there, right? We keeping the pandas, okay? But then also, again, a lot of things, the chat box at the top, it's disabled right now, just because we're doing the walkthrough, but the chat box is still at the top. You know, there's another feature which I won't go into right now because it's a surprise for when we're streaming on Twitch, but in the bottom right hand corner, there actually is going to be a feature that's going to be interactive based on certain things that people say in chat. But again, that's also part of the mystery. You gotta come to stream, you know, you gotta come to stream here, and you gotta come to stream on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be different there's different things that I've worked on in the background in terms of based on when we're streaming on Twitch or based on when we're streaming on YouTube. There's actually gonna be different things that you can actually interact with and engage with. Some things are gonna be monthly that I'll tell you about, and they're gonna be literally only for that month, and then you can do it and have fun and engage, and you have to be there for that moment. Some things are gonna be long term, like things I'll keep up for like 3-6 months at a time, but they're going to be mysteries. And so it's just, you're going to have to pay attention to things I say in chat. And, you know, if you eventually like say the right command, you know, then not only will the animation and the thing will happen on screen, but then also, you know, with Twitch, you'll get channel points, you get additional channel points, you get different rewards, as well as we're going to build in an incentive feature in the community Discord. And so, you know, you know, we're gonna be out here. We're gonna be out here having those different ways that people can engage, both in ways that folks know about very clearly, but then also in other ways where folks can, you know, explore and engage, whether we're talking about a topic of the day, which some of those are going to be linked to topics of the day or topics of the week, but then also some things are just going to be related to recent videos that we put out, right? And so there's also kind of an engagement thing that I like to like test out there, is just like, you know, did you actually watch the video? Because if you watch the video, you actually have like a heads up on other people in terms of, you know, figuring out what that secret thing is for the month and being able to trigger that animation. The other thing I'm really excited about, we talk about mental health a lot here, and really appreciate folks for leaning to those conversations, even if it's just telling me how your day is. I genuinely want to know. Yeah, I don't ask to be polite. I hate small talk. I don't do things to be polite. Oh, that sounds random. But I don't do things just to, like, you know, placate people. Like, I do things if I'm asking you about something, or like I'm stating a boundary or whatever the case. I'm doing it because like I'm trying to be intentional. And so, you know, whether you're telling me about your day, or whether, you know, we're having a conversation about, you know, mental health status, whether, you know, something that you're going in, obviously not trauma dumping, but whether it's something you're going through, or whether it's, you know, I'm not having the greatest day, want to be able to engage in that way. And so with that, there's actually a new scene that we set up called Battery Charge. I mean, not that y'all can see the name of the scene, but it's called Battery Charge. And so what's going to happen is, at the beginning of the stream, we're going to do our starting soon stream, just so we can get everybody in here, get everybody settled in. And then this is going to be more than likely immediately the next scene that we go to. This is because I want, when we're starting off stream, I want folks to get a sense of like what type of energy I'm bringing to stream, so that like as best as possible, you can match that, right? I don't want you, you know, again, we talk about having cozy, chaotic vibes here, and there's like some days that are more cozy because I'm a little bit more, you know, less, you know, I'm lower energy. And then there are some days where I'm a little bit higher energy, right? And so there's just a space where, yeah, thanks Nini for using exclamation point charge. So exclamation point charge, again, this is something that's going to be available for both YouTube and Twitch streams, but what we're going to be able to do is, I actually have on my mixer, because I actually fixed it, but I use exclamation point charge or exclamation point ADHD, and then when we come here at the start of streams, whether it's here on YouTube or on Twitch, what I'll do is on my mixer board, which I fixed, thankfully, we fixed it, y'all. Okay. And based on what I'm feeling for the day, I'll trigger where I'm at. And so for like today, I'm feeling pretty high energy. I'm really excited about this launch. So today is going to be, okay, it's not gonna work right now, but there is an animation that we will fix. Hey, you know what? Shout out to mistakes, okay? We you know, again, maybe I just routed something incorrectly, but that's perfectly fine. And so with that, after we do starting soon, we'll come to this screen, we'll talk about where I'm feeling for the day, and then we'll immediately go to we'll go to our updated gaming screen. And so with our updated gaming screen, it's also going to have a lot of different features on there. Again, to what I was saying earlier, some of it is going to be, all of it's going to be available for different triggers based on what folks are saying in chat, but some of them are going to be very specific to YouTube, some of them are going to be specific to Twitch. I will let folks know, so you're not just like randomly, I guess, in the dark, but again, when we have those different days, you'll be able to do that. And so hopefully, if this works. Okay, LOL, it was on the wrong scene. All right, so hold on. Y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that. This is all uncut, y'all. This is all uncut. Uncut, unscripted. Okay, so here we go. And so what will happen is, I knew I rerouted it to the wrong one, but that's fine. There's like a little bit of sound effect and a portal feature where you'll be able to know that like today is a green battery day. And so because I have all 4 charges, I'm feeling good. Again, there's also like other people use the language of like spoons, if you're familiar with that. So spoons is very similar to this, and just talking about like, again, mental and physical capacity. And so because I want folks to feel comfortable talking about mental health, whether I'm having a green battery day or whether you're having a red battery day, we want to be able to have that there. And so again, we'll starting soon, battery charge for the day, and then we'll go ahead and get into that. So when we're here, then also you'll have that charge feature. So if you look right above the bar, the header bar with my information in the audio visualizer, you'll also see that it corresponds with the battery of the day. So again, just little things like that where I know the animation didn't show up the way I wanted it to, but that's fine. You know, we're testing things out today, but again, there's an option to be able to do those things, right? For folks to engage in that way. And so if you're like, you know, a little bit, you know, a little bit low energy today, you know, just vibe with me. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. You know, just vibe, you know, and we'll kind of show up for each other in that way. Cool. You all already kind of get the sense. So if you all saw the starting soon screen, I'll like chop this up later so it makes more sense. But if you all have already seen this scene, for folks who are here when we showed it, again, you saw the treatment where we have the different pieces that combine the old theme plus the new theme. And then we also have our typical, love that panda emo. Love it. It makes me so happy. But then we also have, again, the very similar treatment with the be right back screen, obviously, whenever we need to do be right back. And then per usual, with the ending screen, we also got this with the little nighttime feature. We're not ending right now, but again, this is the ending screen and what that'll look like. So again, all these pieces coming together for the updated theme. Now, as I said before, there are going to be a lot more animations and integrations. I did take a lot of time over the past 2 weeks, really trying to like be able to figure out like what design level I could reach in terms of like adding some of those additional components. And for me, I feel like there's a good amount of assets that we have ready to go for upcoming streams in the upcoming week. But also, you know, I just want to you know, try things out. It's like, oh, this is terrible. And then, you know, like, okay, cool. And then we, you know, it was like, boo the streamer. And I was like, okay, cool. Okay, I'm backing off. But yeah, just being able to have those different things going on. Cool. So if I haven't already said, which I already did say it, but I'm humbled, I'm appreciative, I'm thankful for everyone who's been part of this journey. This is only the beginning, and really excited for you know, what we're gonna do going forward with future work.